everyone. Today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. This is actually the second time I'm trying to shoot this just because I feel so weird even trying to do this, but I don't even, you're gonna understand why I'm having this weirdness right now as we dive into this, but I'm trying to kind of do some different stuff with my channel, have some different kinds of fun videos, so if you have some ideas, let me know. But I had asked before on Instagram, and a couple people have requested this since then even, so I decided I will try to do this. We'll see how this take goes. And I never ever do that where I I was 20 minutes in and I decided just fuck that whole last take and I want to do this again. So I've never done that before. So we're off to an interesting start. But I'm going to be talking about my writing today and my journals. And then I decided that I would maybe do a little DIY on how I'm going to make my next journal, because I've made the last two. And I just thought that would be kind of fun. So if you're just interested in the crafting part, I'll put a timestamp down in a pinned comment. I'm going to try not to ramble too long. But if you're interested in that, you can just keep watching. So I went around the house and collected what I think are the only journals that I've saved. I know I'm missing probably a few. I know I wasn't a very consistent journaler when I first started, and there probably wasn't too much to really look at before either. Anyways, they're not here. I couldn't find them. But I have my last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I would say in the last 3 years or so, 3 or 4 years, I've just kind of dove into my writing more and really trying to be consistent with it, where I'm at least a couple times a week, so, and even if it's just a little blurb or a little drawing or something, I just want to put something down on the page. So yeah, there's not much in these first ones, and I didn't make these first ones, as you can see. But let's see, I started journaling, I know in middle school, just because that's kind of an awkward time, I feel like, for most people. You're kind of figuring things out, going through a lot of changes, and I did just move from a really small school to a much bigger school, 60 kids in my grade to 500 kids in my grade. So the dynamic of the school and how students interacted with each other was totally different from everybody knows everybody, and there were more cliques in that school than the school that I ended up graduating from, which was even smaller, but we'll get there. But it wasn't anything like a school of 500 people. When we had a new kid, everybody knew that this person was new and everybody kind of welcomed them. So I was kind of thinking that that was going to be the case when I moved, and I'm not exactly the most outgoing person, I would say, necessarily. I've gotten better over the years, but my brother was always much better at just going up to people and having conversations and making friends instantly. So yeah, it was a different experience. I spent the first year not having really any friends, and it was really hard. So I remember starting to journal then, just because I was dealing with some mental health stuff, and it was just kind of a bummer of a time. So it was a really great outlet for me to get some feelings out that were all kind of going on upstairs. I don't really like talking about my feelings with anybody, so I think my mom kind of knew this when she suggested journaling to me, and it's been great ever since. I really love it, and I've just fell in love with it even more throughout the years. So I don't think that it's ever too late to start either. Start today if you've never journaled before. It's pretty nice, even if you're just, like I said, writing down a little tiny blurb, one sentence, or just how your day went in 3 words even. That could be kind of fun. So yeah, anyways, that's why I started. And as I've gone over the years and even just kind of looking back at them now, I love to go through and see all these different adventures that I've written down with different little details that I probably would never have remembered had I not written it like that night. And I love to look at these just because I love reminiscing. Also, if you're ever having like a bad day and you just want a good time, you know, you can pick up your journal and maybe bookmark some of your favorite stories that you can read and remember good old times with. And I also love to go through and like look at different things that I was dreaming of and my aspirations and see how I've grown like closer to achieving them or have achieved, and it's like a living dream right now. So as far as poetry goes, I think this is my first one that I wrote, and it's dated August 6th of 2015. I always loved poetry and I loved English class. That was probably my favorite class alongside of choir and like my art classes. I had a super awesome English teacher once I moved back to Wisconsin. Let me just go back to this now since I kind of left you on a cliffhanger. We did end up moving back to Wisconsin. I went to a different school though, my sophomore year through my senior year, so the last 3 years of school for me. And yeah, I went to a much smaller school by choice, just because I realized that I preferred that over the big school. And this time it was even smaller because my first school had 60 kids in the grade, and then my final school that I went to only had 20 kids in my grade. So super downsized. I had a great English teacher at that school anyways. I started getting interested in poetry thanks to her. I think that she initially had sparked the love for it then. Yeah, my first one was dated on August 6th of 2015. I remember being in my bedroom. I always shared a room my whole life. At that time I was sharing it with my younger sister, so she was up on the top bunk, I was on the bottom bunk. I remember just like being, what was I had to be 18 at this time, yeah, and just being this hopeless romantic that I am, honestly, and writing this love poem about this ideal person that I was just dreaming of. And I'm not even gonna read it because honestly it's embarrassing, but I think that I might have posted it on my highlights on my Instagram story like at one time, so it's on there if you're really curious, but I can't bear to speak it out loud, honestly. So that's the first one. Mostly with my poems I'm just writing on my own feelings, so it is kind of like an extension of being able to like speak what I'm really feeling, because sometimes it's even like hard to really write down, and with a poem you can kind of say it without saying it exactly, because at least with my writing I want it to be more ambiguous. I want it to be able to be put to more than one situation. I'm not trying to make it too specific, you know. Here's another one that I wrote. I remember sitting at my desk. I used to work at this office. I really did like working there. I had a lot of good co-workers and everything, but I remember just being pissed off about like being in a corporation, and I felt like I was like selling my soul. Nothing bad on people who enjoy their jobs and love their jobs, and do work for someone else, but I felt like it wasn't true to me, so I remember just being ticked off about it and writing an angry poem basically. And I don't think that it's too specific that it's like this looks like someone being pissed off about their job. It could be about a lot of different things, so kind of like I was trying to say before, it just could fit like multiple scenarios, and that's why I feel like it's good for me at least, because then when I go and read it over, sometimes it resonates with like something else that's going on in my life or something else that I'm feeling, and sometimes it even resonates more than when I was writing it. So I feel like I'm kind of tapping into maybe what I need sometime down the line. So yeah, anyways, that's that one journal. There's really not much to talk about with this one because it's kind of boring, but now you kind of know the backstory on why I like writing and what it at least does for me. Here's my second one that I've got. This one, the first page is from June 20th, 2016. So in my journals, I also do a lot of little drawings. I have an airline ticket, my very first like stub from my first plane ride, which I took at 18. Oh yeah, I have a Chicago journey written down in here. Here's another poem. Let's see. I'm not even gonna read it first in my mind because I know it will stop me from reading it out loud. I think I remember writing this one down too, just from the first line. I was in my car on lunch break. I would always go somewhere and find a park and like sit down by this little lake. There was a couple around because it was in Minnesota, so land of the lakes, you know. But yeah, I would go to a couple different parks, and I remember being at this one park this one day and writing this.
Oh, you are recording. I tried to wait. Hi, everyone.
I had to redo. I went 20 minutes in, and then I was like, I have to redo this.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I already told them about it. I was like, I've never done this before. I went in, and then I was like...
Sometimes you just don't feel it.
Yeah, and I'm kind of nervous about talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I just wanted you to read this.
Okay, I was just reading some of this to Andrew. So that poem wasn't actually too bad. I mean, I don't know if I really know how to judge if it's good or bad, but it seemed okay to me. So maybe I'll read it a little bit better, because I was kind of being all mumbly before. So it's titled Daydreams of Tomorrow. How cute. Sunlight trickles down the hall, birds sing, hear their call. Leaves flutter in the breeze, the dress covers your knees. Do dream and dream the hours away. Tomorrow is but another day. For what will be, and today there is too much to see. Waves roll over your toes, pollen tickles your nose. Dream for today and be for today, for tomorrow is a day away. Keep your troubles at bay, tomorrow is a day away. So, pretty cute. I know poems don't have to rhyme, I just like rhyming, honestly, so... Oh yeah, I was reading Andrew this little bit of Chicago journey from August 12th, and this would be of 2016. So maybe I'll read a blurb of this. Day 1, Chicago journey, August 12th. Cassie and I went to Chicago with my friend Hannah, and yeah. Here's what we did. We woke up at Cassie's house, packed our bags, and took off to Chicago. We thought we knew what was going to happen this trip, but really, we had no idea. When we got to our hotel around 6 p.m., we immediately threw our bags on the ground and... Okay, incriminating. It was only a mile from the hotel, so we walked instead of taking a cab, you know, just trying to save some money. Sadly, it started raining on us after we took the time to fix our hair and makeup. A couple blocks from the theater, a woman in a car pulled up. A nice car, actually. She was dropping off another woman at her house. She seemed legit. I like that. She seemed legit, and our gut said she was totally pure, so we hopped in the car and made a new friend. That's amazing. She was only inclined to pull over because we were 3 girls, and we looked innocent and cute, she said, just walking through the rain. We got to the concert, and it was everything like I had hoped. We went to Chicago originally. We planned on just going to Chicago, but then we realized that there was a Kiss concert. I actually made a video on this kind of situation too. We realized that there was a Kiss concert in... Was it in... It wasn't in Detroit. It was in Grand Rapids. That's where it was. And yeah, we realized that that was only 3 hours away, so we ditched Chicago the next day and drove to Grand Rapids, and we all bought like the cheapest like $30 tickets that we could. So that was kind of like a little fun adventure, but I already kind of explained that situation. in like a really old video. Oh, I have other things that I meant to write down. The Who concert, the Paul McCartney concert, these are things that I'm like, don't forget about because you haven't wrote them down yet. But they're fun situations. The Bob Dylan concert, seen Person in Chicago, and then North Carolina all together. Okay. Oh, this is about my first Alice Cooper concert, my first concert altogether, which I saw him for my 19th birthday present to myself. I bought tickets. Oh wait, no. This is my second Alice Cooper concert. Yeah, because the first one was in 2015. Okay, I was still 18, but I was turning 19, because I saw him in November in 2015. Yeah. Okay, but then here's my second Alice Cooper concert, which was actually my first date, like, in person with Andrew, because we met online first, so we had been talking for a while, and then I was going to go to this concert in Milwaukee by myself, because nobody else wanted to go with me, and I was talking to him, and he's like, well, I'll go, it's only like an hour and a half from Chicago. So that's where we first met. Here's a little Polaroid from it. Cute. I remember being like, I need to take a picture of you. I keep like backstage passes in here. Sometimes looking through this, I'm just like, what? Let's see. This was attached to a sticky note that says, your greatest ideas will destroy you. So that's a nice reminder. Thank you, Dev. 2017, July. I'm officially waitressing in order to make better money in shorter time. Okay, so it looks like the last entry that I did in here was July 22nd of 2017, and I was writing about my new waitressing job. Okay, those are my first two. That was fun. Now, this one, I did not make, but I just jazzed it up a little bit. I'm pretty sure I just hot glued on this ribbon, like this kind of velvet one, and then this one over top, and then some little flowers and little pearls. So this one, let's see, I knew that I had saved a bunch of stuff. This is when I was getting more serious into journaling for sure. I have a bunch of things that I felt like I needed to keep in here. Lots of tickets from shows and wristbands and stuff. I like to keep all that. I have like subway tickets, some backstage passes. So just fun little things that remind me of some fun times. So first entry we have is from November 3rd, 2017. So there's a little bit of a gap in between my writings. The first entry explains that too. Picking up a pen seems almost foreign to me, and I don't understand because I do write with a pen at work. I mean, picking it up with the intention of getting lost in my thoughts and to try and spit them onto the paper as quickly as I can in order to not miss a beat. My writing was a lot smaller in these. Ooh, I'm 21! December 15th, 2017. Oh my gosh, there's a huge time gap from December to March of 2018. December 2017, March 2018. And in between that time, I actually had a really rough patch, which is probably why I wasn't writing at all, but why I should have been writing. Oh my gosh, this is cute. March 29th, 2018. Today I've got a photo shoot this evening with a couple from Instagram, which I'm very excited about. And I'm actually talking about my friends Olivia and Hyro. This was before they started Mind Flowers, but they are the owners of Mind Flowers, and I just met up with them to just do a fun photo shoot one time, and we hit it off and became really good friends ever since. So that's cool to be able to look back and see my thoughts pre our meeting. Oh, all these memories in here. Oh my gosh, when I interviewed my friends who are now known as DOG. Oh, then Miss Pamela's writing class. June 21st, 2018. So much has happened recently. I can't believe I haven't written in here. Most of it is on my blog or Instagram or somewhere, but still I like to have it all in here. It's nice to feel the words leave your hand too. I went to Alaska. Fun. Family was coming down. Oh, and then I did Matthew's makeup from DOG in here for the show. We pretty much danced the whole show, and then after we went to this guy's apartment and shot fireworks off the roof. So funny. And then I have written another little blurb that I just love writing. I have my phone notes are just filled with little blurbs like this. So we got from June 29th, 2018, mirror, mirror on the wall, some people have no sense of humor at all. And that is just true. Tonight I turned in a clean page of my journal to signify what I feel like a huge page turn in my life currently. Amazing. Hi, hello, how are you? I'm great, thanks. Just sitting in the alley before I head out and get working for the day. I'm trying to finish TJ's custom shirt by tomorrow night so I can get up a little so I can set up a little photo shoot for his show next Saturday. I think I'll make it. I just have to embroider a little on one star and then one full other one. Yippee. Oh, when I went and saw ELO, amazing. These eyes cry every night for you. These arms long to hold you again. Okay, that was me quoting the Guess Who. I know what these like sheets of literal toilet paper or hand towels, one of the two, looks about the same to me, but I know I have sheets of that in between certain pages, and it's because one night we were doing a poetry reading from some friends of mine, and I was marking out ones that I was feeling okay with possibly reading out loud, so I just knew where they were in the book, and I didn't have to be sifting around for them. January 31st, 2019. You knew me before, but not anymore. Keep telling me you don't recognize the look in my eyes, but I could say the same. Your voice is unfamiliar when you call out my name. How could this happen? I was always the one who sat by your bedside while you quietly cried. I never lied to you, only the truth, even in my ignorance and my youth. But you could say I'm wrong, say we're singing a different song. Little do you know, I'm still in key, I'm just singing your harmony. So that one's alright, I think, at least by my own standards. It's always fun when I do post my writings. It's always interesting hearing people's interpretations of them, because it is cool to see how, you know, people relate to it or what they think that it means. Like, I'm not trying to like tell you what to think with the poem. I kind of want it to like make you feel certain things, and then whatever it's making you feel like, you know, you're probably going to tie it to something that's going on in your own life. This is a nice one. This is really sweet. Summer breeze, you put my mind at ease. One small touch is just enough to wash away my miseries. It's been a long, long time in the dark and in the cold, but I'm glad you're mine to have and to hold. In the mornings you bring me the bird song, and with which I know it won't be long. The sun is falling behind, helping me see when I thought I was blind. You came to me when I needed you most, like an answered prayer from a Holy Ghost. Drawing around it, I kind of always like to put some kind of like visual thing just with them. Oh my gosh, whose hair is this? Is this mine? I gave myself a haircut. So, I thought before this was my like first time saving hair. Look at how blonde this is. This used to be my hair color. Isn't that absolutely wild? Like, compared to my hair now and like my natural hair, which is at my roots, that is really, really blonde. So, I think that's when I gave myself my Stevie Nicks shag haircut. But anyways, I don't think that I'm like the best writer or anything, or necessarily even that my poems are good. Most of the time I kind of like, and I feel like most people are like this when they do something, kind of cringe at it, but I also kind of force myself to put it up, depending how badly the cringe is at myself, you know? Of course, I don't put up everything, but I try to force myself just to put things up, because even if I don't like it, somebody else might, and if nobody does, like, it doesn't hurt anything really. so I might as well give it a chance. What's that poster that you see like in doctor's offices and your school? Usually you miss like 100% of the shots you don't take. Am I right? Was that in your gym class? Was that somewhere you've seen before? Because I know I've seen it. That's basically it for me. I wrote more than I thought that I did, really. Looking back, I'm seeing a lot more poems than I had thought that I'd written. Oh, and this is when I went to see Alice Cooper for the 3rd time. That's my wristband from that. Courtney was there. My friend TJ was there. It was beautiful. That one's kind of cool. It's kind of a little jittery, but I like the idea. You've heard of the place where the land meets the sky. You've read about it in books, I know, so have I. I come from the place where the treetops reach, the clouds hanging above, and the smell of the earth surrounds you like a glove. I'll take you if you want. We can get there quite quick. I know the way. Just follow me into the mist and through the thick. It's nothing like you can imagine. Golden leaves hang from the trees. The Garden of Eden bends to her knees, for nothing surpasses the majesty of what you're about to see. Tulio, that is definitely about northern Wisconsin, where I'm from, in the Northwoods. Wow, I've written so much right here that I didn't even realize, but I'm not going to read through all of these, honestly. This one I do kind of like, so I'll read it to you, and I have a little illustration here. This is titled Inner Dialogue. The sun is leaving the sky, they're putting the shades down, the air is getting colder, fall is coming around. I'm thinking about when I saw you, and with so many people near, the room was getting louder, but it was just your voice I could hear. When I turned around to see you there, it came as quite a surprise. They told me lots about you, but I learned it was all lies. You're quieter than I would have guessed, but I know how it goes. To really speak your mind is like leaving without clothes. I wonder what we talk about. When I have much to say, I wouldn't want to bore you with my nonsense anyway. The shops have all closed now, the north winds are starting to blow. I was listening to the weatherman, he is predicting snow. I'm trying not to think too much about when I saw you first. There's not a thing to do now, and it could have been worse. If I had one more chance, I'd do it all again, just to tell you these words I'm writing in pen. So, that one's cute, and I do really remember that. And that's it for this book, actually. So, this one ended, it seems like it ended in like July of 2019. I didn't date the last couple of pages, but that's that one. So now we have 2 more to look at. Okay, so this was the first journal that I made. I basically just used like a sharp little tool and my strength and popped holes through the leather and through the paper. We have like a bunch of paper around because my boyfriend used to work at an office building before COVID happened, so they were gonna just throw away a bunch of this paper, like so much. We have boxes full of paper just because they were gonna throw it away, and we were like, we could use that, so we took it home, and it's come in handy in a lot of ways. You could also try and make some paper. I want to do that in the future, at least for like a couple pages or something, or maybe make a smaller booklet. Because I have a bunch of scrap paper, I keep most of my scraps because I do end up using them for something, and I think that that would be a great way to repurpose them as well, and then maybe add in some like dried flowers and stuff. It could be fun, so that's another idea for you. I don't really know how to do it fully yet, but I have watched some other people's videos on YouTube, so I know they're out there if you do want to do that. But I've just been using the paper that we acquired from this office building. So I made a little pouch in the front because I loved how that one had the kind of like leather covering that I could use as a pocket. In this pocket I have all kinds of stuff too. Ooh, I have like dried flowers I forgot that I put in there. One that I brought from LA. What is this? We've got some more tickets, like I was saying, basically the kind of same stuff that I would do before. My journal with my purse. Got a little note in here. I love notes. I've got a set list in here from a show. My first entry in this one is August 8th, 2019. Oh, here's another poem. Is this becoming like a poem reading or... So this one's from August 8th. Oh, this is from the same day. Just like you dreamed is all coming true. Day after day, it's all deja vu. You knew from the start you'd see me again, introduced as strangers, but we're long-lost friends. What brought you here? Was it fate that brought us together, like gusty winds blowing a feather? You'll never know if you keep asking, just live in the moment. You're too young to worry, you're not even grown yet. Take what's coming, take it with grace, let love's light fall, let it caress your face. Cute. This is undated too. It's probably from this same day, which is the 9th, so the next day. I was just writing poems like nobody's business. Sometimes I just get in the mood and I just like pop them out like it's nobody's business, you know? This one's cute. This is pretty little. Can you feel the earth tremble beneath your feet? Do you see the skies swirl and dance with me? I am the breeze that calls your name. One with the trees, we're all the same. It's a short little sweet bitch with a pretty moth. Oh, talking about seeing Tommy James with Michelle. Then the second writing workshop of Pamela's that I went to, I have written in here. And then the cool thing with this journal is that I started it on August 8th of 2019 and finished it on August 8th of 2020. So it was a little full circle moment. Then I have concerts that I attended written down in the back, just because I like to kind of keep track. So that's that one. Now we're on the journal that I'm currently on, which is this guy. I'm just about finished here. I've got, I think, like there's 35 more pages to go in here. Yeah, let's see. Here I have my other hair chunk that I was talking about earlier when I found that blonde chunk that I forgot that I had. But yeah, I started this one then August 11th, it looks like. I have another song in here that just needs music put to it, but I wrote it like as a song and thinking that it'd be a song. So I'm gonna call it a song even though there's no music yet. Let's see if there's anything that stands out in this one to us. This one's pretty. I think I've posted that one too. Yeah, I have written in here actually, what is poetry to you? A way to get out thoughts and feelings you otherwise couldn't say, whether that's because you couldn't say them or because you didn't know how else to. January 1st, right here, with this little Polaroid that I took of the trees outside covered in ice and snow and just looking absolutely beautiful. That's it, basically. We've got just those last few pages to go. And then this one's done, so I figured it was probably good that I do this sooner rather than later, so I'm not sitting around with no journal and then being like, well, I just need a journal, and then not wanting to film it and do like a tutorial thing. So yeah, those are basically my journals and basically my like progress and why I write, what I write about, how I started writing. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. Just do whatever makes you feel good and makes you excited to open up your book and put some pen to paper. So I don't really have any idea of what I want to do yet. Totally. I brought out a bunch of stuff here, as you can see. One of my friends actually was moving and gave me a bunch of crafting supplies, which was super nice, and I've kind of just been going to that ever since, and I also just collect things as I go along in life. I feel like there's usually a purpose for everything, or somebody else who needs something like it, and you'll be the person to give it to them. Here I have a bag of leather scraps, which are the remaining scraps also from that patchwork set that I did a video on. I would kind of like this to be a smaller size. This might be pretty good for it. I wouldn't mind stitching a couple pieces together. I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm thinking about making it with like extra on the... We'll see if this works out. There's no promises, okay? We're just gonna kind of go with it. I have some sort of an idea, but we're just gonna basically kind of run with this idea. I think what I'm going to do is make this into a journal that can be also closed up into like a purse, so like the under part can be snapped shut with like a little extra long of a layer onto the back or something, and then the front also can be snapped around to the back, or the back could go around to the front, whatever. Either way, it kind of closes it off. And then I want it to be able to have a top as well that can be snapped shut, like open and shut, and then you could keep your pen in there. You could, I don't know, put like a few things in there. I want it to have like a strap that it could be worn as a bag, because that would come in handy a lot, I could see. Yeah, because then you could also just keep like your ID in there, your card if you needed it. Yeah, and that could be fun, right? I might use this too. This is actually from a skirt that I just cut and shortened, but it kind of goes perfectly with that. Okay, so that's step 1 figured out. I'm definitely doing this tomorrow. I will for sure use some probably gold embroidery thread. It could be fun to even have like the back side have little things to like hold a pen. Like I should just go all out with this tomorrow. I should be writing down these ideas because I feel like I'll forget it. Okay, I'm gonna draw this kind of now. I'm not the best at like drawing realistic things, so if I show this and you don't understand what it's supposed to look like, that's okay. I will understand it. But maybe this will give you a little bit of an idea of what I'm thinking. So, and what else would I put in there? A pen? What else do you need? Oh, a little card. Oh yeah, card holder. A pocket for all of my treasures. What else could a girl need on her adventures? I mean, keys are good, but you could always strap it onto the outside. I mean, we'll call that good for now. If I think of anything else, we'll add it later, but let me just draw this now. So what we've got here, we've got it open. You see the snaps that can go around to the front and the bottom to close it off. And then when it's closed, you can do the same thing on the back to the front. You'll snap it closed. We've got our card holder. We've got a pen holder, chapstick. We've got a pocket for the treasures. We've got pages to write in. And then when it's closed, you've got a lid. See, here's the lid. Snaps on the bottom and the side as portrayed in the first image. And then we've got a strap here for, you know, no hands. So I'm pretty excited with how that's sounding. Makes me feel like I have more of a solid idea than I had initially come on here with, which was no idea. So that came together pretty quickly, really. Let's see what's in this bag of wonders. I think we're running kind of slim on good things in here. Whenever something breaks, I either try to fix it or I keep the pieces that I think could be used for something else, which is almost everything. That could be used. No. Well, maybe. I do like chains, so we'll keep that out. This could be nice too. We'll keep this out. I'll keep out my red ribbon. I think I've got all of the supplies ready for building this up tomorrow, so I will see you all then. Have a good night. Hey everybody, I just started kind of popping the holes in the paper because that's like a hard part and nobody really wants to see me struggling to do that. So I just used some screwdrivers and popped holes in the paper and then the leather that I'm going to use for the backing and cut this out. So I just basically took a bunch of papers, cut them in half horizontally, and then put those together, folded them in half again, and in smaller sections I popped 4 holes going down so that I can bind the book together and then place them on top of the leather. Kind of saw the shape that I was going to need to cut out, cut that out, leaving extra room on the side here for the kind of overlapping closure like I was showing you in the drawing, and on the bottom I did the same. I might need to add a little bit more like fabric for overlapping, but if I'm going to do that I might just use some of like this snakeskin stuff that I have from an old skirt. I think first what I need to do is make like my front page. I'm going to use some of this like more structured paper just as like the front and very back page of my journal, and off of that I'm going to build a pocket, which I'm just going to cut this down to the size of the other pages in here, and then take some of that remaining paper and I'm gonna just tape it on with a little leeway in between, kind of like fluff it out a little bit from the paper so it's not laying flush, so that there's room to put stuff in. And I'll probably put a little piece taped down on one side as like a flap that I can cover, and then I'll poke some holes in that and probably use this red ribbon to keep it tied shut. Roughly mark, nothing needs to be perfect, which is the nice thing. Then I'm gonna fold and then cut it. So what I wanted to make sure that I said in the other video that I was thinking about was that writing for me has always been a way to express my feelings, kind of like I was saying. And I grew up in a very small town, and I did move, as you learned in the beginning of this video if you didn't know before. Kind of a lot, you know. Also, I was just like interested in 60s and 70s stuff at kind of a young age. I always kind of just felt alone in my interests, and I had one really amazing friend growing up, Cassie. I met her my junior year of high school, and did I meet her my junior year? Yeah, I did. Wow, it seems like I had known her so much longer. But anyways, Cassie was like my closest friend and still is one of my best friends in the entire world. But I just kind of felt alone in my interests and kind of misunderstood, which I feel like is just kind of a common thing that people feel. And even now, even having like so many friends that have the same interests as me and are supportive and loving and just the best friends anybody could ask for, I still do feel lonely a lot, and I don't think that's anybody's fault at all. Probably my own, actually. Writing kind of helps me like dissect my own thoughts. I don't know, it's even hard to explain now, but I hope you kind of understand where I'm coming from. Let's pop a hole in this. Now I need to go get tape for the pocket, so I'll be right back. I'm just taking off a piece here of that remaining stuff for the pocket. I'm just kind of curving it a little bit while I tape it, so that there's some room. Okay, and here's a little pocket. A little space for whatever I need in there. And I'm just gonna make the lid, just taking a smaller piece of that and putting it on top. And I'm just going to poke a hole in here, putting that part on the back, and then I'm just going to line it up with the holes, which I'm just going to do by shoving the screwdrivers through. Now it is time to start the threading process. So I'm just going to use, I think, the gold in here again, just because that's my favorite. Okay, that's really funny. I just posted one of my more recent poems, actually the most recent because I did it this morning, on Instagram, and somebody said it was giving them the Giving Tree vibes, and that actually reminded me that I used to read in my mom would read to me Shel Silverstein's books. They were my favorite books alongside of Dr. Seuss. I'm also wearing one of my favorite color palettes today. You can kind of see. This is what we've got going on here. Just between these two, I'm gonna keep going and make sure that that's held in tight there. I'll probably go through each hole 5 times, like looping through. So this is 4. I'll do one more and then I'll move on to these two. So I'm in this one now, and then I'll move up to the next one and then that one. I'm so excited about this. I'm excited to be able to like just carry it on me as a purse itself. So I knotted it all off now. Here's what the back looks like, the inside from what you can see. So very, very cool. This is what we're looking at so far. Here's that little bottom piece. The bottom I think is going to be okay. I think it's going to be the side that I need to add a little extra to overlap. I think I'm going to want to paint the inside of this. I have a bunch of leather paint, so I don't really know what I'm going to do with it yet. Andrew wanted to see what I needed a hammer for, so he's over here too.
Still filming.
Yep. But this is how far I've gotten. Now what I'm doing is getting ready to add on the snaps to close it. So I'll connect these two with like my suede cord that I have, and then this will fold over and snap it shut.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. And then I'll do the same with the bottom so that it can snap shut. And then I'll add a top part so it can be like a little purse. And I could put some stuff in it and wear it as a bag. And then this will be the strap.
Nice.
You like it?
I love it. What's this one for?
Me.
Ooh, that's your new journal?
It's my new journal.
Nice.
Yep.
Looks awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought it'd be nice to be able to wear it around.
Yeah, you're gonna have it in a pouch.
Yeah, like it is a bag.
It's a bag,
itself.
a bag journal.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy, have fun.
Thanks. I brought the paints. I don't know if I'm supposed to cut this first or just go for it. I'm just gonna go for it. This shirt is not good to wear for this. You just... That's better. We're getting somewhere. Yes, yes, yes. Look what we're looking at. Okay, thanks to Yvonne Williams' video, how to set snaps in leather, we're back. And I didn't watch the whole thing, but I think I get the hang, or I've got the hang of it now. I think I get the gist of it now. So basically, go watch her video if you want like an actual good tutorial on how to set these snaps. I'm just showing you overall how to make the journal. I'll put her video down in the description for you. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here, but I feel like something. Do not know, it doesn't seem like it's quite bending back like she said it would, or far enough at least for it to be able to get onto here. Okay, I'm not gonna finish this part tonight. I'll paint a little bit maybe. So I just grabbed the green that I have, the pink and the red, and I'm just gonna do something fun with it, I think. I figured we'd move this candle down for a little ambiance, you know what I'm saying? Alice Strider made me this candle as part of her little holiday gift exchange. It smells amazing. It's lavender, and she painted the little bowl, which is also adorable. Adorable. That's probably a better angle for you. Sorry. The other stuff might not even be usable because there's like nothing to watch. I think I'm done painting, at least for now. Maybe sometime I'll go back and add like some more later, but I'm pretty happy with it at this point. Raise you up a little bit before I call it a night, and we'll resume this either tomorrow or another day. But we've made really good progress, I feel like. If I can figure out these snaps, we'll be in good working order. If not, I'll do something besides the snaps. Here's what we've got so far. Inside I drew and kind of decorated. I really like how the colors came out on the black background especially, and I like that this pink is very, very faint. It almost looks like a white. Against the black at least, it looks more pink on the white paper here. And yeah, so I'm pretty excited with how it's turning out so far. This is definitely my best journal yet, and I just want them to keep getting better and better every single time. So I'm gonna go eat some dinner. I think I hear Andrew cooking, and I bid you adieu until tomorrow or whenever I see you again. Hello everyone, it is the day after yesterday, which was when I was talking to you last, and I just got in the last snap that I was working on last night, the first snap actually, but what I did, Andrew actually gave me the cutting board, which I'm laying on to use as like a hard surface for hammering, and that seemed to help a lot. And then I did finish watching that video that I started yesterday, and it was very helpful. She just basically said to kind of move whatever this is that you use to hammer in the pieces, kind of move it around like this as you're hammering. And I think that the hard surface helped a lot. It's definitely not easy still, but the first snap is on there. So I'm gonna do maybe 2 more here, do 2 on the bottom, and then I'll have 1 more for the lid, and then I have to add the strap and any other decorations that I'm gonna do. And I think I'm gonna do a time lapse for this because it's just gonna be loud and lots of hammering, so. Okay everyone, so I finished putting on the snaps like on the sides. I haven't made the lid yet, so I have 1 more snap to do, but I've got the ones on the bottom here done, and then the sides. So I just punched the holes to put this onto the back side so that it can loop around and snap in the front, which I'm just going to attach with this suede cord here. And I use this little tool, like leather hole punch thing, and just wiggled it in there, made some little holes, and then to thread this through, I'm just going to kind of cut this to be like a point, so that's going to be the side that I thread through, and then the other end I'm going to make a small little slit on the inside of it. And on the first little thread that I put together with these, I'm going to loop it back through that incision that I made in the leather cord, and that'll make like a nice sturdy hold for it instead of having to tie a knot. And then I'm just gonna basically loop it together and make sure it's all sturdy and held onto there well. And then I'll work on the lid. Alright everyone, I just finished the journal. Here it is. And then I can kind of use it as a purse, like for bigger things. Maybe my wallet or something wouldn't fall out, but I did add a pocket to the back here, which I have some paper in right now, but it's big enough to fit like a couple cards in, maybe my ID. So I just have the things that I really need with me, or I could put money in it if I have like a couple dollar bills or something. I have some scrap paper in there now because a lot of times I'll rip a little bit off of a page from my journal whenever I need like a little piece of paper in a pinch, but this will prevent me from doing that at least for a little bit until that runs out. I've got my pen in here with just a little piece of leather that I sewed on there to hold it in place. And then, you can see I stitched on this extra little piece to close it, and then do the same thing for the lid. And then you all already saw the front, but here's it all finished. I'll probably end up painting something on the back as well, and on the inside of this flap here too. Lucky number, my initials, and that is basically the journal. So I'm pretty happy with how it came out, especially since this is my first time trying to make like a little bag like this, and my first time using snaps, which was definitely a learning curve and a good arm workout, but I think I'm gonna get the hang of it more as I try to continue to use them in different projects. And now I've got my journal all set for when this one's finished. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope that you either learned how to make your own journal, or maybe you're inspired to get yourself a journal and start journaling, or even just on some scrap paper that you have laying around and keep it in a special area if you don't have a spare notebook or anything. Remember, journaling can be whatever you want it to be. It can look however you want it to look. It doesn't have to be in a book. It doesn't have to be in a journal or a fun notebook or anything. It can be scrap pages. You can burn it when you're done. You can burn them right after you write them. You can keep them forever. It can be just 3 words of your day. It can be huge, like detailed descriptions of each day or how you're feeling, or it can be just drawing a picture. It can literally be whatever you want it to be, and that's the amazing thing about it because it's yours. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you're having a fantastic day, whatever you're doing. Happy 2021. Sending lots of love to you in this new year, and I'll catch you in the next one.